All right, more practice on probability and the addition rule. You might want to print these out before you start watching this video so you can just start writing them. Every single problem must be complete for you to get a complete or full credit. All right, now here's some problems that involves a table of numbers. All right, so in this problem we have males and females, and it looks like their favorite restaurant, McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's. All right, it's all filled out. Some problems in a minute, we're going to have to fill out this table on our own. Not a big deal if you have a calculator, which I do. All right, so some of the questions here. Again, remember, probability is outcomes of the event over outcomes in the sample space, and the sample space is just all of the possible outcomes. So in this problem, the possible outcomes is 220. All right, so if I said males, it'd be 125. If I said females, it'd be 95 out of 220. So this first one says, what's the probability that the person chosen is a male? So if I look at this table here, the males, there's 125 of them. So that would just be 125 over the total is 220. Now you can reduce that fraction, always reduce your fraction. So 125, and if you got this calculator, oh, awesome, reduces for me. All right, that's 25 over 44. Now if I wanted that as a percent or a decimal, that's the 0.568 or yeah, we can use that 0.568 or 56.8%. or 0.568. Determine the probability that their preferred restaurant is Wendy's. So here, Wendy's, I see there's a total of 60. 60 people chose Wendy's. So that's the outcome that I wanted over the possible outcomes in the sample space is 220. Now I can cross off those zeros real quick. Reduced by 2, 3/11ths. Now, if I wanted that as a percent, 3 divided by 11 is 27.3 or 27%. Okay, determine the probability that it's male and Wendy's. Right, here's male, here's Wendy's. Where do they overlap? They overlap at 35. Male and Wendy's is 35. Over again the total of 220. So I take my wonderful calculator that I got in the beginning of the year because I knew it was going to help a lot. And that's 15.9 or 16% if I want to call it, or 7 over 44. Depending on how I'm going to ask you on the quiz on Friday. So 15, I'd say 16%. Okay, so those are all probability problems. This one is also, but I see the word or. And right away when I see the word or, I think the addition rule. So what's the probability that it's a male or Wendy's? So this would be probability of male plus the probability of Wendy's minus the probability of male intersect Wendy's. So the probability of a male, and I'm going to leave these as fractions, 125 over 220. You'll see why in a second. Probability that it's Wendy's, well, that is 60 out of 220. The reason why I'm leaving those as fractions like that and not reduced is now they all have the same denominator. And then male Wendy's is 35 over 220. I type that in my calculator. So 125 plus 60 minus 35 equals 150. So that's 150 over 220. I can cross off those zeros there. So 15 over 22 cannot be reduced. If I had it on the quiz as a percent, I would take 15 divided by 22, and that's 68%. Okay, the decimal, the percent, the fraction, they're all acceptable. But if it's multiple choice, look at the answers, see what they want. All right, so you're going to finish this one, of course. Let's do a couple on the back. Let's look at number 8. All right, number 8. It says, at a community swimming pool, there are 2 managers, 8 lifeguards, 3 concession stand clerks, and 2 maintenance people. If a person is selected at random, find the probability that the person is either a lifeguard or a manager. Okay, so this is what it would look like. This one I don't need the table, and if you don't need the table, then don't make it. Lifeguard or manager. So this is the addition rule. Probability of lifeguard plus the probability of manager minus, because some of the lifeguards are managers, so they're overlapped in there somewhere. So I need to subtract them. That's their intersection. So how many lifeguards are there? Well, there's 8 lifeguards. I'll figure out the totals in a minute. Well, let's see. 2 and 8 is 10, plus 3 is 13, and 2 is, I forgot what I was at, 15. All right. Plus probability that's a manager minus the probability that it's a lifeguard or a manager. But it never said in this problem that some of the lifeguards were managers. So that's what we call mutually exclusive. They don't have anything in common. So this would just be, I can use the addition rule. I didn't need to, but I did. So 10 over 15 or 2 over 3, which is 0.66 repeated, or 67%. Okay, so I didn't make a table for that one, but I'm going to in a minute. All right, let's take a look at number 11. 11 I think I can do with a table. A recent study of 200 nurses found that 125 female nurses, 56 had bachelor's degrees, and 75 male nurses, 34 had bachelor's degrees. So I'm going to make a little table that'll help me answer this problem. So make this little table over here. And what do we have in here? We have male nurses, we have female nurses. Okay, so I'm going to make my table like this. So male, female, and this last one I'm going to put as total. I can put males and females up here. All right. And then we have bachelor's degree. And we'll say non-bachelor's, and then total. All right, so I'm going to fill this out. I know that there are 200 right here. I'm going to start with that. There's 200. That's my overall total. Oops, sorry. I'll move back. It's my overall total of 200. But I know that 125 of them are female. So 125 here. And 75 male nurses. That makes sense. These two add up to 200. And let's see. 56 had bachelor's degrees, and they're talking about the females, so 56. And let's see. 56 had bachelor's degrees, and 75 male nurses, 34 had bachelor's degrees. So the males, 34. So I can fill out this table, this total right here. This would be 90. Okay. Now, without even looking at the rest of it, I know this has to be 110 because they have to add up to 200. All right, and then I also know that these two have to add to 75, so I'm going to use my calculator. 75 minus 34, and that's 41. So 41 goes in here. Now I could subtract this from that, or I could subtract the 41 from 110. So 110 minus 41 is 69. So this is 69. Just to see if that worked, these two should add to 125, and they do. Now I should be able to answer these questions. First one says, a female nurse, what is the probability that a female nurse has a bachelor's degree? Female, right here, female bachelors, that's 56 of them. So this would be 56 over the total of 200. Okay? So 56 divided by 200 is 0.28, or 28% if you want to leave it as a percent, 28%. All right, what's the probability that it's a male nurse? Male nurses, there's 75 of them. So this would be 75 over 200. And if I take that and put it in my calculator, 75 divided by 200, I'll leave that as a percent, 37.5%. That means a randomly selected person in this group of 200, you got 37.5% chance that it's male nurse. Male nurse with a bachelor's degree. So male bachelor's, that's 34 over 200. And if you type that in your calculator, you'll get 17%, or 0.17. And the last one, which one is most likely to occur? Well, out of these three, the most likely to occur is the male nurse. It's got a higher percent, that's all. All right, so hopefully that'll help you get through some of these. Watch for the word or, I think addition rule. Okay, fill out your table, make these tables on these ones remaining, and then answer the questions. Hopefully that will help. If you have any questions, of course, you can come on live, meet, check the times, ask questions. Have a wonderful day.